Hawkeye episode 4.
Yep.
Just released. Hopefully, I'm getting this out
In the next
same day.
Yeah, hopefully.
Probably Thursday, but we'll see. So yeah, let's just we don't need to do like spoiler free or anything. If you're watching this, you've seen the other episodes. So
Yeah.
We're just gonna dive straight into it. So it picks up right where the last one left off.
Yeah.
With Jack threatening them with his sword.
Yeah.
So a couple things. They're both there.
Yes.
Which is weird. That they didn't kind of realize, like nobody realized that other people were in there with them.
Yeah.
But he's just like, she's there, and he's just openly using the Ronin sword that he got from a black market auction that no one's supposed to know about. Like, I thought she's not even supposed to know about that.
I think,
but he's just
I
like,
think it's intentional.
hey, look, I got the Ronin sword.
No, it's definitely intentional. I think so. Okay, so here's the thing. Here's what I perceived in that beginning intro, right? So they made them likable, like specifically Jack. Like she was smiling and she was like, "Oh my god, my mom's happy."
Happy for her.
But that's on purpose because now they're making him likable to her. Because and in the end, they're both going to be evil. They're together.
Yeah.
It's not just him; it's both. Especially now that they're like on the nose, like, "Oh my god, he owns the business." And,
yeah. Well, yeah, but so there's the point where the mom is like, "Hey, listen, stop this. I don't want her to get hurt. You know, like this is crazy."
Yeah.
But then right at the end, she goes, "So you'll forget this case, right?" And he goes, "No, I can't do that." And she has like a little look on her face, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yep.
Yeah.
And then she makes that call.
She couldn't resist at the end, just going, "So you're gonna drop it, right? You're just gonna stop investigating me? I mean, these people."
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely she's doing something. She's up to something. Yeah.
She might not be like big
they
evil.
didn't go into any more about that call.
Yeah.
She didn't like switch to some evil villain
No.
voice
She
when
said,
she did
"Hey, we have a
but,
problem."
Like, something was up. Yeah.
She said, "Hey, it's Eleanor. We have a problem." And literally, that's where we get
I
cut
didn't even know
off.
her name was Eleanor until she said that.
Yeah, it's facts.
So Jack's laundering money.
Yeah.
I love, like, after Hawkeye leaves, it cuts back and they're talking or whatever, and the mom's like, or Jack is like, she was very, like, calm and composed around Hawkeye, like her hero. If I ever met Huey Lewis, I'd be a wreck. I was like, what the fuck? So specific, but it's funny. She's really happy for the mom.
Yeah.
And then she goes back and meets him at the apartment where he's icing himself with, like, slushy packs.
Yeah. Margarita packs.
Yeah, he's, like, tearing it off like a fucking... whatever those...
Tourniquets.
Called, tourniquet, yeah. And she pulls up. She's like, movie marathon night. Pulls out the movies.
That was... Okay.
The Santa Claus is the first one there.
So this scene was very, very lovable. Like... It was like
we should probably like just go ahead and put this stamp on it and say so we don't talk about it every time. Anytime they're together and talking, it's like the best thing ever.
It's
they're so well together.
Yes,
and let's just leave it there.
And like this is where he starts to. It's important because
talking about it so much.
It's true, but this is also where he starts to really like her.
Yeah,
like he already likes her, but like this is where like it kind of seals it because she feels bad because he's missing out on his family, so she does everything that he was supposed to do with his family. She got him an ugly Christmas sweater.
Yeah.
And then
movie marathons.
Yeah,
Christmas
but at the same
tree.
time, they're still doing their detective thing too, where she writes on that. She writes on the poster and she can't erase it.
He goes, "Are you sure that's right?" She's like, "No."
Yeah. And so she decides to take the Christmas tree and she puts it up. She's like, "Hey, that way it covers everything."
Like, now you're problem solving. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. Their moments. Even the dog is like adorable. He gets a few moments in it.
I love the dog.
Yeah, I love the dog.
So then he does the thing where he's like, I could kill somebody or I could knock somebody out with this like little ornament from like 20 feet away. And she's like, bullshit.
And
she's like, TV.
Yeah, she was like, I'll tell everybody that Hawkeye is bullshit. And the moment he does that flick and it, bing, so good.
So he says, so he taught that he kind of shit goes down and he starts talking about
this is a really
Black
sad
Widow.
moment.
And we reveal, I don't think this was ever mentioned in the movies before, like, or at least not talked about, that he was sent to kill her.
Yeah, it was. I believe
the only movie that would have been in is Black Widow.
No,
because
they mentioned it because she said
they don't have any other interaction.
No, she said
we've already seen Age of Ultron.
And maybe it was in Endgame. No, I think
it
was in Endgame. It's one of the movies because she said you saved my life, and they kind of like the way they insinuated it is like he could have killed her and he didn't because they're talking about somebody who's supposed to die. I swear, it's insinuated. So this wasn't a surprise to me.
Does she die in Endgame?
I think it's an Endgame.
She dies in Endgame, right?
She dies in Endgame. I think it's an Endgame.
Yeah, maybe.
I think. There's like a brief conversation that they had that they kind of like gloss over it, but it's very like, hey, you were supposed to kill me, you didn't.
So she figures out that he's Ronin.
Yeah.
And
she already had an inkling feeling, and then like it really hits her.
She was
because she's like,
did
your family get erased in the blip? And he was like, yeah. And she's like, that must have been awful. And she like gets teary eyed because she said
must have made
really
you want to put on a hood and kill a bunch of Japanese people, right?
Basically.
And he's like, wait, what?
But yeah,
that's very specific.
And he's honest with her. He doesn't even bullshit her. He's just honest with her.
Yeah. Because she already knows.
Even better. One of the better moments, in my opinion, in the whole movie was with his wife on the phone, where they're talking in code in front of the kids.
Yeah.
Where she's like, "Oh yeah, we did."
And they totally know.
They totally.
She's talking in another language.
And then she starts talking fucking Russian.
Yeah, and they're like, "It's Dad." Like it's obviously Dad.
And then I also like she made him the suit.
So
because they talk about the Rolex.
Hold on. So is this Rolex something like from a previous movie that I don't remember?
So. I don't think we're supposed to know.
They're gonna reveal what it is later, I think. Because I was like, I don't remember.
I don't remember seeing this Rolex at all. We have no idea what it is. We'll see what it is. He said it belongs to somebody he knows. I'm assuming it belongs to Black Widow.
I thought it would have belonged. I thought it.
Tony.
I don't know.
Maybe
Tony makes the most sense.
It does because he's rich.
But it also felt like maybe he was talking about himself, like Ronin. It could tie him into. It is
Ronin. A tracker. It is a tracker.
And she already knew at that point, but he might have just been saying it to keep code just in case anybody was listening.
But it is a tracker, so
yeah.
Even more so, another thing that I really my throat's like really dry today. Another thing that I really liked about this whole thing, not just them talking in code or whatever, is like I was trying to say, she revealed that she made the suit. Because they talked about the Rolex, and then she said, "Oh, and also my pretty little suit, or my suit, or
the Ronin suit."
Yeah, and she made the Ronin suit, so she knew about it like the whole time, and she made him his suit. Like, so that's weird. That's what I'm saying. That makes no sense. Though. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. So
unless
what is
she made it for him ahead of time.
Yeah, she might have, but that's what I'm saying.
Like, hey, if I ever die, put this on and go kill people.
Yeah,
like I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. So what is she talking about with that line? Because she said my suit, and I was like, what?
I don't know. So, maybe she was Ronin all along.
She was Ronin. Yeah, she was never. She was never blipped. She was never
anyway,
blipped.
I love. So he's he sends her to go to talk to the LARPers again to get back the shafts so they can put on new trick arrowheads. Mm-hmm. And she shows up and she's like, "Listen, I'm on a top secret mission. Nothing big. Just need some casual, run of the mill evidence tampering."
Yeah. Like, she just sprinkles that in there.
The woman's being like, "Yeah, okay, I could do that."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Instead of her being like, "No, it's gonna get me fired," she's like, "Oh yeah, sure, but I need something from you."
Yeah, and then meanwhile, Hawkeye's going to kind of talk to the guy whose name I can't remember, but the brother of
yeah, that's the guy that I was telling you at the end of the episode when she was on the computer. That's the computer. That's the name that showed up on the computer. Was that name? That's what I'm saying.
Spoiler.
But no, yes, it is. It is because it's not that it's a spoiler.
Well, don't say it then if you're going to
No, it's not that it's a spoilers. Think about it. He's one of the bad guys. So why is he working for her security team?
Oh,
he showed up on her roster.
The way you were saying it, I thought you were saying like,
oh, the name meant something. No,
the name was like a comic book character.
No.
Villain.
It might be actually, but what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is though, like, why is he in her security roster? Because that's what they were looking at.
Maybe he's chameleon. Because, right? Sure. Because he's disguising himself as Kate Harington.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. But, anyway, so I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, so he talks to him or whatever, and he's already taken out all of his weapons for the car.
Yep, smooth.
And then as he leaves, he's like, "Can I have my gun back?" And he's like, "What do you think?"
Yeah, he throws that shit. Fuck! Can we talk about how it sucks because Hawkeye does not get these amazing moments in the movies, but he's so fucking likable in the show.
Yeah.
Like, he did not get enough time to shine because it's so good to see, like, him, like, he's human. He's not some super fucking soldier.
Age of Ultron was like his movie.
It was his movie.
That was the best we've gotten of him for sure.
But it still wasn't enough. You know what I mean? And But here you get to see him like, dude, he has to put on ice packs because he took a fucking ass beating. He has to relax. He's just a regular person.
Yeah.
But he's also extremely fucking smart, like taking away the
guns.
guns.
What this makes me think though is I was just thinking like, oh, why didn't we get a Hawkeye movie if we got a Black Widow movie? Why are we doing it like this? But
they would have been intertwined.
It works better as a show, and Black Widow also should have been a show. I think it would have worked 100 times better. I 100%
agree with you
if they had spent some time to really set that stuff up instead of being like, "Hey, she has like 6 family members. She's doing all this shit." It's like,
dude, they could have spent the first 2. They could have spent the first 2 to 3 episodes introducing
setting everything
family,
up. Yeah,
and then
a lot of backstory.
Nope.
Could have really went all out with it.
Yeah, it shouldn't have done a movie. Should have been a show. I agree.
So, so they're on the roof planning to break into this apartment to get the Rolex.
Yes.
And and she says something like, "Oh, shouldn't we be on like a high? I wish this roof was a little bit higher or something." And she says something else, and he's like, or he says like, "That's what you think?" And she goes, "Yeah, that's why I said it." I was like, "Yeah, that's great."
Yeah.
And then she goes in, And she just fucking I don't know what the fuck that thing is where he turns away and then she's just gone. She's not that fucking fast.
Yeah, I know. That was a little much, but and then he didn't notice. Like, come on.
Yeah. So she goes in, breaks into the apartment, and she goes like, oh, there's some sort of strobe lights in here.
Yeah.
And she immediately fucking domes them with glue. They start both getting attacked at the exact same time.
Yes. And at first, no, not at the same time, because at first,
well, he's
literally grunting. I kind of got a little bit annoyed with this part because he's clearly fighting, right? And she's like,
uh-oh.
Yeah. What's going on? Like, bitch, fuck you. Go peek out the window.
Dude, stop jerking off. Get out of here.
But, like, so it's funny because as she's like, Hawkeye, what's going on? She realizes somebody's behind her, and then she turns, it's Maya. Yeah. And it's funny because she says, oh, Maya's here. And he's like, yes, I know, I'm fighting her. And you're like, what
For
the
a split
fuck?
second, I was like, wait, she's some sort of like...
a
twin sister, a clone.
Yeah, and here comes the moment. You knew. Yeah. The moment it showed.
I didn't know the moment I saw it.
I did. I turned to Rachel and I was like, oh, it's fucking... Bro,
I knew when... so she goes... He shoots the zip line for her.
Yeah.
She gets stuck halfway down because the building isn't tall enough.
Yep.
Or isn't short enough, actually, in this case.
Yeah.
So she gets stuck in the middle. But then she gets all the way down, and as she jumps off the zip line... she jumps up and gets kicked. And I saw the way she got kicked, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
Like,
I knew instantly. I turned to Rachel, I was like, oh, this is how they're bringing her in. I was like, fucking cool.
I just kind of forgot that she existed.
Fair enough.
I forgot she existed,
because the movie's not that great.
I was like, who is this going to be? It's going to be some person we've seen so far, some like old character, but no, of course it was her.
Yeah. For those who don't know what we're talking about,
Yelena.
I can't remember her name.
Yelena from the Black Widow movie. Who was the best part of that movie.
Yes.
So it's good to see her back, even though she hasn't really done
cold,
anything
bro.
yet.
She was cold.
But yeah, and so he goes, at the end of all this, he goes, shit's got real. Someone hired...
Whoa. Let's not skip over the awesome trick arrow. No, the trick arrow that was used, though.
What?
It's the stun one where she fucking uses it and literally breaks up the whole fucking fight.
Oh, yeah.
That was so cool. And even the effect was amazing, dude. It was like a nice little... It's not even a stun. It's like a shockwave. It was so cool.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, it was like a shockwave. I actually really liked that. And she broke out the fight. The only one who wasn't affected by that, go figure, was Maya, because she's deaf anyways.
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, oh, what the fuck's going on here? And she's like, she kicked her, like, literally across from one mini rooftop to the next.
She got knocked back, but her, her hearing
her hearing was fine, yeah.
So he goes, someone hired a Black Widow assassin.
Yeah, he has no idea.
Someone, wink, wink, who could it be? Yeah. And so... and he's like, shit's just got real. We're done here. You gotta leave. Like,
and she's like, I made my choice. I'm staying. And he's like, no.
Yeah. And so at first I was like, he says like, she's like, who was that? And he's like, you don't want to know. And I'm like, he knows.
He knows.
Who
yeah,
she is?
That's what I thought.
But no,
too.
he doesn't. He just recognized it was a Black Widow assassin.
Yeah, because she used
the fighting
gauntlets.
style on the
she had the gauntlets.
grips.
Now, there's one thing I do want to talk about. There was an absolutely smooth move that Kate did in the middle of the fight when she slid. Did you notice it? So she slid, and to get more push, she took her longbow and stabbed into the ground and used the bouncing off of it to slide more. Dude, that was smooth as fuck.
The fight was great.
Very well choreographed.
A lot of a good like tension that they used the fact that it was on a rooftop. Because a lot of times you'll have like a fight on a rooftop and it's just a fight that happens to be on a rooftop. In this case, it's like they're almost falling off. She's like, we
also skipped over. Hawkeye had the absolute PTSD when she went through the door. He was like, no, and literally like he was like frozen for a second, like he didn't know what to do. And then she was like, pull me up, and he was like, nope, and he cut the rope and dropped there, and it's like,
for a second I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but he knew, but he was like, leave, and he cut.
He's like, nope, I'm killing you too.
I'm taking all these bitches out.
You know what? I've been in this situation before. Best we just get it over with. Anyway, so and then the episode.
Yeah. So overall, this episode was amazing.
It was good. Not as good as the last one.
I think it was better because they left it. They left it exactly. They let it end where it needed to end. They tensed it up with the fights. They tensed it up with some of the characters. They tensed it up with Eleanor. Like, there's so many things going on with villains.
It feels like much more of a interstitial episode, though. It feels like a connecting episode, not something that stands on its own necessarily. You know what I mean?
If you didn't watch the last,
the last episode is purely just like
a
straightforward start to finish. You have A to B.
Yeah.
This fight, this escape, and it's like phenomenal all the way through.
This was definitely a hype up episode for some shit that's about to happen.
And it's a good episode.
Yeah, it's a great episode.
You have to.
Yeah, but I still think it's one of the best episodes so far, just because of.
I think it's definitely second. I think they go in like 3, 4, 2, 1. 1 is still the worst.
I
mean, easily.
Yeah, but no, I really like this episode. I'm really excited to watch the next one,
it's
especially
very
now
good.
that they brought Yelena. Oh my god, I can't wait, dude.
Yeah, hopefully they don't just like kind of. Hopefully they do some good stuff with her because she was very.
I have
well
a feeling
developed
she's
in the
going to be
movie.
in it for not as long as you think.
Yeah,
I have a feeling because they're set up for a movie, either a movie or something. They're set up for something big, so we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. So that's it. We'll be back next week to talk about episode 5.
Yep.
Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed and subscribe.
Yep, subscribe.
And we'll be back next week.
All right. Bye.